Just want to take a minute here and kind of do a breakdown of your inspection results that we found here and next steps. There's a few items needing addressed before we can move forward with the scheduling the dyno tuning side of things. Tech findings on the vehicle. Front cover is leaking. There's an oil leak coming from the back side of the passenger cylinder head. They're not sure if it's the head gasket or the valve cover, and the front diff seal is leaking. There's a pretty severe leak on a couple of these. These won't prevent tuning, but they are something that should be addressed sooner than later just for the health of the vehicle in general. Suspension, you have some ball joints that need addressed. Rear shock seems to be shot, and they recommend replacing both of them, and the inner tie rod on the driver's side has issued. Basically, the suspension needs a refresh, and there's pics here in the inspection that I'll link to you that you can look at them closely. Axle boots are torn and leaking. That's going to cause problems over time on the CV axles if it hasn't already. Again, something that should be addressed. None of this so far would prevent tuning, but just overall health and safety things. The intake that you're running is kind of a cheapo intake, and the couplers for all of them are worn out. Assuming at one point they were kind of a silicone type material. They're all extremely hard plastic that will not tighten, even though the clamps tighten. The intake filter slid right off because that clamp just can't hold it on there. We're tech's recommending replacing with an S&B, which is our go-to brand for these. On those Sultan of Spark coil packs, we don't like seeing aftermarket coil packs on Ford things, especially EcoBoosts. They often cause weirdness. Ford does not like non-OE coil packs. Intercooler, didn't see any branding on it. As long as it's not causing a restriction, not an issue. A valve cover breather on the driver's side is cracked and leaking, and that's going to cause a problem. As far as the PCV system, that's one that we're going to want to resolve before moving forward with dyno tuning scheduling. We also have some oil buildup around the charge pipes. Ford spark plugs, good call there. Again, OE stuff. Compression test, everything seems within spec of what we'd expect for a vehicle this age and miles. Nothing crazy there. The big ones here, obviously the steering and suspension stuff you'd want to get addressed, as well as these oil leaks, because some of them are pretty significant. But the big ones that we're going to want to address before we can move forward with the dyno tuning session and getting the higher boost map sensor installed and things like that, and your new vacuum lines, yada yada. For right now, we're going to want to address those cracked charge pipes and finish with a boost leak test to make sure that everything's sealed up properly there, as well as recommending that intake swap out so that that'll seal up there both from the engine bay temps and be able to properly seal so that we're not pulling any air in past the filter with those couplers being worn out. It's up to you to decide how much of this you want to address before scheduling the dyno tune, but at the very least we need to get that charge pipe that's cracked and leaking replaced, and anything else is optional, and we can take care of all of it. Just let us know what you want to do if you have any questions on any of the inspection here. Thank you.